Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that your body had been quietly warning you about something serious for months, but you didn't recognize the signs. Scary thought, right? Now here's the shocking part. One of the deadliest cancers in the world often works exactly like that. It whispers before it screams, and by the time many people realize something is wrong, the disease has already moved far beyond the point where treatment is easy. We're talking about pancreatic cancer, a disease that doctors often call one of the most dangerous cancers known today. In the United States alone, tens of thousands of lives are lost to it every single year. What makes it even more frightening is not just how aggressive it can be, but how incredibly quiet it is in the early stages. Many people walk around for months with symptoms that seem small, random, or easy to ignore. They chalk them up to stress, aging, a bad meal, or just everyday life. But here's the thing most people don't realize. Your body is actually pretty smart. Long before a serious illness fully reveals itself, subtle signals often begin to show up. The challenge is knowing what those signals mean. Think about your pancreas for a moment. It's a small organ tucked deep inside your abdomen, kind of hidden behind the stomach. You rarely hear people talk about it, but it plays a massive role in keeping you alive and healthy. It produces enzymes that break down the food you eat, helping your body absorb nutrients. It also releases hormones like insulin that control your blood sugar. Without the pancreas doing its job, digestion and energy regulation would fall apart pretty quickly. Because the pancreas sits so deep inside the body, tumors can grow quietly without triggering obvious pain right away. That's why pancreatic cancer is sometimes called the silent killer. It doesn't always announce itself loudly at the beginning. Instead, it sends small clues that can easily be mistaken for something harmless. The good news is that researchers are learning more and more about those clues. Studies suggest that several warning signs can appear months before a diagnosis is finally made. That means there can be a window of opportunity where noticing the right symptoms could make a huge difference. Let's start with something a lot of people experience at some point: digestive problems. Everyone deals with stomach issues now and then, so it's easy to brush them off. But when the pancreas isn't functioning properly, digestion can start to change in noticeable ways. You might feel bloated after meals, even when you haven't eaten very much. Food may sit in your stomach longer than usual, leaving you with a heavy or uncomfortable feeling. Nausea might start appearing more frequently. Your appetite could also begin to fade without a clear reason. Meals that used to sound great suddenly feel unappealing. Over time, this drop in appetite may lead to gradual weight loss. Not the kind people celebrate when they're dieting, but the kind that makes clothes looser even though you haven't tried to lose weight. Another clue can appear in the bathroom. Because the pancreas produces enzymes that help digest fat, problems with the pancreas can affect how your body processes certain foods. This may cause stools to look lighter in color, greasy, or unusually foul-smelling. It might feel like a small or embarrassing issue, but sometimes it's actually the digestive system signaling that something deeper isn't working the way it should. Now let's talk about fatigue. Everyone gets tired. Life in the modern world is busy, stressful, and sometimes exhausting. But the fatigue linked with serious illness is a different beast altogether. It's the kind of exhaustion that sticks around no matter how much you rest. Picture waking up after a full night's sleep, but still feeling like your energy tank is completely empty. Climbing stairs feels harder than usual. Even simple activities like grocery shopping or walking around the block seem more draining than they used to be. Some people describe it as feeling like their batteries never fully recharge. Inside the body, cancer cells consume energy and nutrients rapidly, leaving fewer resources available for healthy cells. This internal tug-of-war can slowly drain strength over time. That constant tiredness can also affect mood, making people feel frustrated, anxious, or mentally foggy. Another symptom that sometimes appears is fever or chills that seem to come and go without explanation. The immune system is constantly reacting to changes inside the body. When inflammation occurs, the body may respond with temperature fluctuations. You might suddenly feel cold and shivery, then later experience a spike in body temperature. Unlike the flu or a typical infection, these fevers don't always follow a clear pattern. They may appear for a short period, disappear, and then return days later. Many people dismiss them as seasonal illness or fatigue, but when unusual temperature swings persist, it's worth paying attention. One surprising warning sign involves blood clots. It sounds unrelated at first, but certain cancers can make the blood more likely to clot than normal. In some people, the first clue that something serious is happening appears as swelling in the leg, warmth, tenderness, or discoloration in the skin. This condition, known as deep vein thrombosis, can be dangerous on its own. If a clot breaks free and travels to the lungs, it may cause sudden shortness of breath or sharp chest pain. That situation becomes a medical emergency. While blood clots can happen for many reasons, unexplained clotting can sometimes signal deeper health issues that shouldn't be ignored. Another subtle change can happen around the liver or gallbladder. Because these organs are closely connected to the pancreas through the bile duct system, problems in the pancreas can cause bile flow to become blocked. When bile backs up, nearby organs may begin to swell. Doctors sometimes detect this swelling during routine physical exams or imaging scans. It may not always cause immediate pain, but it can be part of the puzzle when diagnosing pancreatic problems. Bloating and a constant sense of fullness are also symptoms many people overlook. Imagine sitting down for dinner and feeling completely stuffed after only a few bites. Over time, meals start feeling uncomfortable instead of enjoyable. The abdomen may feel tight or distended throughout the day. It's easy to blame that sensation on overeating or certain foods, but when bloating becomes persistent and doesn't improve with typical remedies, it deserves closer attention. Pain is another sign that may develop, although it doesn't always appear in the early stages. When pancreatic tumors grow, they can press against nearby nerves and organs. This can create a dull, persistent ache in the upper abdomen. What makes this pain unique is how it often spreads to the back. Some people describe it as a band of discomfort wrapping around their torso. Others say it feels like a deep pressure inside the body that becomes worse after eating or when lying down. At first, the pain might come and go, giving the impression that it's temporary. But as time passes, it can become more frequent and more intense. One final symptom that many people overlook involves changes in urine color. The body constantly processes bilirubin, a substance produced when red blood cells break down. Normally, it travels through the liver and bile ducts before leaving the body through stool. But when a tumor blocks the bile duct, bilirubin can build up in the bloodstream. The body may try to remove it through urine instead. As a result, urine may turn darker than usual, sometimes resembling the color of strong tea or cola. Many people assume this simply means they're dehydrated, but if the color stays dark even when drinking plenty of water, it could be a sign that something more serious is happening inside the body. When you step back and look at these symptoms together, something becomes clear. None of them sound dramatic on their own. That's exactly why pancreatic cancer can remain hidden for so long. Each individual sign seems easy to explain away. A little fatigue here, some bloating there, maybe a weird stomach issue after dinner. Life goes on, and most people don't think much about it. But when several of these symptoms start appearing at the same time, that's when the body may be trying to send a bigger message. The goal of learning about these warning signs isn't to create fear, it's about awareness. Understanding your body's signals can empower you to take action sooner rather than later. If something feels off and doesn't improve over time, checking in with a healthcare professional is always the smart move. Early detection can open doors to more treatment options and better outcomes. And here's the real talk moment. Information like this matters most when it's shared. Someone out there right now might be experiencing these symptoms without realizing what they could mean. So if learning about these warning signs opened your eyes even a little bit, consider passing the knowledge along. Sometimes a simple conversation or a shared video can make a difference in someone's life. Health isn't just about reacting when things go wrong. It's about staying informed, staying aware, and looking out for each other. Because at the end of the day, your body usually gives hints before serious problems appear. The key is knowing how to listen.